I've got a bit of a cold. I'm a bit snotty. I went into town with the best intentions. Believe me when I say the best intentions. And like I said, I've got a cold, so I wasn't obviously feeling my best and organised because I went all the way into town, went to the library, got a pile of books and going, oh my gosh, I can't wait to sit down and just go through these books. Went to get my library card. What's missing? What is missing from this picture? Well, hello, like my wallet. My wallet was in my other bag and I went to transfer it and I left it on the doodad here and did not put it in my bag over there. So I had to go all the way home. I had all these jobs that I wanted to do and I had to go all the way home again. I was a bit miffed, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't know. Anyway, so I thought I've got my coffee with my soy milk, my stovetop coffee. I'm absolutely digging. I've sort of stepped away from instant coffee, you know, like jar coffee, and I've just gone for my stovetop coffee now. And it's freaking the bomb. I'll have like 2 of these and I'm good. I'm good. So I haven't had one today, so that's probably why. Probably why I bloody forgot my wallet. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to do the book review and I'm going to get you guys to wait until I do these decks. This book is amazing. I can't believe A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. L'Engle? This book apparently is now a movie. I had no idea when I picked up this book. What an incredible, incredible story. It's aimed at primary school age, so, you know, maybe, and I'm guessing the people that would sort of get it would be about 10 years upwards. But it's such a it's not a big book, like it's only, what, 250? I mean, the afterword is just amazing. I actually loved reading about the author, Madeleine. But the book is 255 pages and it's set about this family and in particular the children in the family and focused on 2 out of the 4. So the parents are scientists and on the cover I'm assuming that Reese Witherspoon is the mother and we have Oprah Winfrey as one of the characters and I don't know who that lady is. But anyway, the young girl would be maybe 10 or 11, I'm guessing. Her name is Meg and she is not really, she's a little bit awkward, she's a little bit not knowing where her place is, she's really closely a close bond to her dad, but her dad is missing. He's a scientist, as I already said. And the younger brother, Charles Wallace, is quite a curious person, so he chooses who he wants to talk to. So I probably guess he may be about 5 or 6 years old, or 7, somewhere around there. Anyway, he chooses not to talk. So at school, they're looked upon, and Meg is sort of doesn't really fit into places, and she's quite headstrong, and she has her own beliefs and has her own methods of doing things. And it's really interesting the way that the writer, Madeleine L'Engle, has written this character, I was about to say drawn, but written this character, how awkward it is to fit into the school system. And working in the school system, I appreciate this point of view, how children are put into these places where they don't necessarily fit. You know, it was such a refreshing look, and throughout the story, Meg comes to see that what she finds inadequacies or faults are indeed a strength, obviously. But just the way that it's written, this story was written in 1962. This woman is an absolute genius, and I'm wanting to get hold of her other books. Like, she's written so many books, it's unbelievable. But she was really inspired by Albert Einstein and her background of, she was sent to a boarding school, a Catholic boarding school where it was just one gender, so it was an all-girls school. So she sort of melded these two worlds together, and it's so beautifully written, and I absolutely fell in love with the characters, fell in love with, I'm not going to go on about the story, there is one bit that I'm going to talk about, and then that's it, and then you have to read it for yourself. But the way that she's written it is absolutely stunning. I can't get over how beautiful the story is. And as an adult, I wish I had read something like this when I was growing up. Just to have that voice, that one that says to you, you don't have to fit in. You don't have to force yourself into this keyhole where you're not going to fit. And why would you want to? Why would you want to? You know, it's beautiful. But there's one aspect of it where Meg comes across these beasts, and it's a world where it's all grey and it's quite muted. It's quite dull. And these beasts are, I'm guessing, quite tall, and they have no eyes. They have little tentacles. I think they had 4 arms. I can't remember how many legs they had. And they help Meg and these other people that Meg's with. So Meg is quite taken back by these beasts, as she calls them. But they are the most gentle beings you've ever seen, or Meg's ever seen. But you know, these beasts don't have eyes, but they sense everything else. And so once they sort of get to know each other, the beasts are asking, this one in particular is asking, because Meg's describing Earth, and the beast is saying, but you don't know who we are, or you've never heard of us. And she said no. And it was quite interesting to the beast that Earth people have no idea who is around them. They have no concept of any other life forms. So it's almost like we're quite ignorant to the fact that it's just us, this egocentric kind of life form. The world just revolves around us. Everything is for us. And so the beast thought, oh, that's interesting that you don't know us. And you haven't met any other beings from different planets or universes or whatever there is out there. And then, so Meg was describing planet Earth and light and dark, and she couldn't really describe what was light and what was darkness, because they don't associate with that at all. It's just a oneness, because you have nothing. And there's a beautiful line that was so heartfelt. It was, but we know who you are. We don't need to see what you look like. Or, you know, because Meg's trying to say, but I look like this. How can you love this? And, yeah, just they knew the essence of her. Gorgeous story. Gorgeous, gorgeous story. And another little part that I'm going to say about not about the book, but just about the genre and the type of book. And I was at work, and we were in the library, because I work in a primary school, and one of the kids said, what are you doing? And I'm going, what do you mean? And he goes, well, why are you reading that book? And I'm going, because I want to. And he goes, but these are kids' books. I'm going, yeah. And he goes, but you're big. And he couldn't understand why I wanted to read. I said, mate, this is like the perks of my job. I get to borrow books. I get to sit down for maybe 2 minutes, if that, have a bit of a quick, scan of the book and see if I like it, and get it out. And he's going, and he just laughed. It was just hysterical to him that I would want to read kids' books. And he was thinking, but you're big, so shouldn't you be at the big library? Anyway, there you go. Just wanted to